Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and basically working on this Hyundai Santa Fe. So it's a little bit of a different install in this video because I'll be honest, didn't expect myself to be working on a Hyundai anytime in the near future, but here I am. Can I just say actually this Hyundai is actually a really nice car. I've had a look around it, spoke to the owner and stuff, and just generally it's pretty well spec'd out and it's got a lot of nice goodies, and it's actually a pretty nice car to be sat inside of. So I'm kind of excited to see how this install ends up. In fact, it's got one of the most unique interiors that I've actually worked on yet, because it is actually brown. I don't know if that's the exact word for this color of the interior, but yeah, it's pretty nice. So right now what I'm gonna actually do is just take apart the car and just figure things out, but I wanted to show you all what the car looks like at the moment, so then we can obviously have the clips later on with the before and afters. But yeah, super excited about this because this is definitely a very unique, different car and should be a very interesting install. As you guys know, this is something that I do as a service as well, so if this is something that you'd like to get done to your car, just hit me up and hopefully the website will be out in the near future so you can look at booking yourself in via that. And just having a look at the interior, this is the brown leather interior that it's got. And as I already mentioned, it's got all these really nice touches to it. Like, look at the way the speaker grille is all over here. It looks so cool. And the seats are very reminiscent to me of like BMW 7 Series with the diamond stitching at the top and stuff, and even these bolsters, they're actually quite far out and protruding, so it's got some good bolster support, which is a lot nicer than I thought it would be. And we've got the nice big panoramic roof up at the top. So everyone, as I have been really busy working away on the other side of the car, I wanted to do this part of the video basically showing what I have discovered. Now, there was no information on how to do all of this to the car, but I've been able to figure it all out. So let me show you first off how to remove the door cards. It is super easy. Basically underneath this plastic piece here, if you bring in a picking tool or just something that's able to get underneath this rubber, you'll be able to lift it up. And there is the screw. Now that is the screw that we need to get access to, and that is the only screw we need to take off for the entire door card. Once we remove that, we'll be able to pop off the door card completely this way. So let me show you what me doing that. So as I already mentioned, we remove that one screw, bring this down. Now here's what you ideally want to do. You want to use a trim removal tool and just get access to, like, you know, this corner part just over here. Bring it down, and now from here we can slide this in and just bit by bit pop off this door card. Now we've gotten good access to it all. Pop it all forward and literally it just pops off like that. Just at the back we've got the door handles, which you just squeeze in this tab, pops off. And we've got a few other connectors. Well, on the front passenger door, it's only the two connectors. The driver's door has one extra one just around here in the corner, but that's basically everything removed. Now we've got the door card off. Doing the rear doors is exactly the same, apart from two things being different. Firstly, we need to remove this little trim piece just over here on the corner. This blocks the door card from coming out comfortably, so we will need to pop this off. Not too difficult, again, just a few clips that need to get taken off. And the other difference is as you take off the door card, you need to lift it upwards and then out, because you can undo all of the clips around it, but we've got this just over here at the back, so it kind of hooks over into the window area, so you want to be careful of that when taking it off and lifting it out. So those are the two differences, otherwise exactly the same. Take the screw out and undo all the clips. So once you get the door card off, you do have this foam like insulation added on. It's like sound deadening. It does need to be pulled back a little bit, so you will need to glue these bits back in. I'll look at using like hot glue and such, but we want to basically remove these three screws from the top corner. So So from this top corner here, because we are going to be sending the strip through, and we want to basically be able to push the lighting through this gap here. So by releasing these three, just gives it the little bit of flexibility that we need. And so with the trim removal just here, I've been able to push the lighting through, and it will just basically come out on this side. Now we can just line everything up to go across the way we'd like. So something that I have noticed at the moment is all of the doors, the Live and Earth, the colors might be different, but pretty much it'll be the black here and then one of the colors next to it for the Live. So this right here is the red and orange. So yeah, the other two doors, they were different colors. This is another separate color for the Live. So just something to be careful of, and using a voltmeter will definitely help speed this up and knowing exactly what you need. So everyone, with the car pretty much done, I wanted to bring your attention over to this centerpiece here. Now I'm going to show you what I've tapped into first. So this wiring harness here, this harness, the red right over here on the left, that is the Live, and the black over here on the right, it's a thicker one, that is the Earth. Now how did I get to this point? That's the interesting part. So join me back out here and on the bench. So this piece needs to come off first. Now you've got a few rubber pieces around, one at the bottom, one at the top, and one just inside here. I just took them all out first off. You can remove the gear shifter by just pulling on the leathers, and that will just unclip. But the main part was actually these clips underneath here. They're all basically tied in one way or another. So once you remove the top part, you can get just one of the picking tools, the one with a hook, and just hook it in and just pull these parts up. So these four can basically get released, but these white ones just over here, now they're a bit more tricky. So what I ended up having to do was, with a trim tool, slide it in on this end and pop it up. That allowed me to get access here. It was not easy. Let me show you the tool that I used. So this is the tool that I used. I basically wedged it into about here and then just lifted. That popped those up, and then I just held onto it as tight as I could and just carried on lifting the whole thing up. And then you just gotta disconnect the wiring here. And once you've taken that out, you'll then be able to remove this piece. Now this is again held in by clips. So as you guys can see, the clips are just over here. There's a few bits of wiring that can get disconnected. Once you've disconnected those, you'll be able to just slide this off and take it out. So that's how I've gotten access to the center console, and how I'll be able to now put everything back together and call it a day and see the finished results. There is a release cover just over here that you can remove. That will allow you to be able to shift lock, move all of the shifter around, which I actually would recommend doing. But right, time to reconnect everything up, which should be nice and simple, hopefully. There we go. The one thing I am a bit worried about is how will the shifter boot go back on, because that wasn't very easy to take off, to be honest, when it came to taking this all off. The shifter boot was not very nice to work with, but fingers crossed it can still come through. It's kind of somewhat working at the moment. Right, let's pull this upwards. Perfect. There we go. That's all done. Move that back. Shifter release back on. And we've got our three little covers. And that is the interior back to how it should be. Do you guys want a sneak peek? A couple of things I realized I forgot to discuss was how I ran the wires from the center console over to the sides of the dashboard. So the wires will just run down underneath the carpet sides and underneath the dashboard to each side of the dash. That's where the LEDs were then plugged in and just basically very carefully and awkwardly put into this dashboard. It took a lot longer than I wanted it to, which is probably the reason why I forgot to film this earlier. At the same time, whilst the center console was out, I also ran the wires for the footwell lines. There was holes on each side of the center console that you can kind of squeeze it through, so that's how I did that. Oh yes, this is a cool place to be. Damn. Yeah, this has come out really nice on the car. I wish this would just slide forward, but genuinely I'm super impressed with how nice this car is to be sat inside of. But right, I'm gonna get some nice shots of this interior, take some pictures and stuff, and then we'll catch up at the end. So yeah, let's meet up then. Now I think in this color the car looks absolutely amazing. If you look at how this car looks with all of the lighting on in the garage, it is seriously bright. With this car we've gone for the non-symphony mode LED bead kit and it works perfectly. It looks so good. We did use an extra 2 strips for the center console, which you guys can see just over there. But yeah, it looks amazing on this car. With this lighting kit, it does only do the solid colors, so static colors is the way I like to say it. So you can just switch in between all the colors as you guys saw it before. Now the lighting does work with the ignition, so as soon as you turn the ignition off on this car, as you guys can see, it's all turned off. Put ignition back on. There you go. Put the ignition back on and everything comes back to life. Turn it off and everything's off. So let's put the ignition back on. You can control it via remote or a phone app, and I was just doing it via the phone app earlier on. But yeah, this looks amazing. I'm genuinely blown away by how good this car looks. and I'll be honest, I'm kind of blown away with how nice of a car this is. It's got rear heated seats, heated and cooled front seats. You've got a heated steering wheel, the lane assist cruise control with, you know, the distance and stuff like that, heads up display. It's basically got a lot of spec that my M5 has, but the only thing it has extra is the cooled front seats, which I'm a bit jealous of. But no, this is a brilliant car, and I'm actually super impressed with how nice of a car it is. I already showed my parents, and I was like, you guys gotta come and see this car, because yeah, I think this is the perfect car for you guys. So yeah, I gotta give credit to Hyundai for building such a nice car, and I'm pretty sure this will be reliable and good everything. So for people like my parents and stuff, they couldn't really ask for more. Now I want to show you all how it looks with the lighting off. You literally cannot tell that it's there. It is just so smooth to the touch that it's just, yeah, you can't notice it. And that's the kind of look that I try to go for always. Even with the ones with the dashboard, you can literally barely tell they're even there, but it just completes off the look nicely. I also love this textured look on the speaker grills. I just think that looks so nice. You know, again, heated rear seats, that's just awesome. And it's a 7-seater as well. And actually it has another thing that my M5 doesn't: rear extra seats and the blinds. Yeah, it's a nice spec. But yeah, everyone, if you wanted to tackle this yourself, links for everything will be in the description down below. If you wanted me to look at doing this install for you, hopefully my website will be up by now. But until then, you can still message me on Instagram and we can look at taking things from there. But for now, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below with anything that you would like to mention as possible improvements or anything like that. And yeah, any words of encouragement are also appreciated. And yes, consider subscribing. And yes, consider subscribing to the channel, because not only do I do builds like this, but I do all kinds of car content. So I'd love for you all to join me along with those as well. But for now, everyone, I'll see you in a future video. Peace out. Bye.